Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Carol Montag, singer, songwriter, and chanteuse, producing her annual show, A Carol Christmas. Of all the Christmas shows, my favorite title
Oh,
of all
thank
of
you
them,
very
A
much.
Carol Christmas. I love it.
I know. It's like boom. Genius.
So coming up, your CSPS again this year
Yes.
on the 7th of December.
Yes.
I know that's my wife's birthday. So,
Is it
So
really?
it's very easy for me to remember that date.
Mine is the 5th.
Yeah.
But we don't spread that around too much.
And I obviously want to talk about your plans for this year's and who you're going to be with and everything. But before we do that, there's kind of a big void in the show this year because I know that Cameron Sullenberger was your music director for years and years for this show, and of course he passed away.
Yeah, very suddenly.
It's got to be really, really bittersweet to be planning this show without him this year.
Right. But you can make yourself feel pretty down about that, but what I try to do is think about the positive impact he had on so many lives throughout this community because he was so involved with so many different things, from teaching vocal students and nurturing them along to being the music director at Noel Ridge Christian Church, to Revival Theater, to my show, but he was constantly on the go, and he was in demand, and certainly made this town this community a better place culturally with all the great shows that they put on at Revival Theater. They're just fabulous.
Greatly missed. But of course, one of the things that we get to do with shows like this that he was involved in is that's another vehicle to kind of remember him. So with that in mind, what do you have planned for this year?
Well, it's going to be a bit of a pivot, I guess you could say, and I thought about all the great guitar players I know, and of course Bruce Millard, who is from this area. Originally, he was from Woodbine, but he did spend time in Cedar Rapids.
And spent time at KCCK.
Yes, he did.
He is one of our great alumni here.
Right. And so...
He lives in the Boston area now?
He lives in Boston, right. And of course, out there he's performed in a number of different bands and so forth and played with great people, but he also teaches as well. So I'm really happy that he's willing to make the trek here for our show. And he's not flying because he wanted to bring as many instruments as possible. But he's a fabulous guitarist and a great friend. And he's been pretty instrumental in my own musical career because he's produced some of my albums and he's played on them and written things for them. So I'm really happy to have him come back. And we also have from the band Trees Reach, which technically has broken up because their drummer has moved away. But it consists of Riley Thurm and Dillon Rairdin. And Riley plays guitar, bass, pedal steel, banjo. All three of these guys play multiple instruments, so it's going to be interesting to juggle around. And then Dillon Rairdin, he's the newest person to me. I mean, I've been to several Trees Reach concerts, and I've seen him perform, and I really enjoy their concerts. And their songwriting is quite unique and very inventive. So
cool that you're evolving kind of the next generation. You're bringing along in your shows.
Yes. But Riley, I've known for almost all of his life because his parents go to the same church that we go to, and Riley started guitar lessons with me when he was about 6 years old.
Okay.
So I've known him since then, and now I should be taking lessons from him.
Well, I remember him in high school in his jazz band because he was in the Corridor Jazz Project for many years as a part of the Linmar band. Yes.
Yeah. And now he's being hired to play in the pit for this performance and that performance. So it's a great experience for him. But I'm so proud of him, and I'd like to say I taught him everything he knows, but I can't. I cannot say that. But he was so small when he first came to my house for lessons, and he'd take one step at a time. You know how little kids go up like that. And, I'd give him a lesson. We worked out of the Mel Bay lesson books, and I'd give him, one more lesson. And the next week he'd come back and he'd gone like 5 pages ahead. And before I knew it, he was playing Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. I mean, it was like, oh boy.
And how cool to be able to work with him as an adult after having known him for so long.
He's just a great, sweet, kind, considerate guy that I have to tell Sandy and Doug, you've done well. Because he's a great guy.
I'm, now comes the people who are listening to a lot of our holiday show previews here on the Culture Crawl are waiting, you know that this question is coming because when you've done this show for a long time, I mean, the Carol Christmas has been around for a while, but Tribute before that, you've been in the Christmas business quite a while, Carol.
Right.
How do you, going in, looking at the repertoire, how do you choose that repertoire? How do you keep it fresh while also, bringing back those old favorites?
Well, there's a million songs out there, as you well know. And just the other day, I was on the phone with Bruce, and we were talking about, Chuck Berry and that era. And I said, Bruce, do you know any women of that era that might have some songs out there? And he goes, let's take a look at Wanda Jackson. So we checked out Wanda Jackson, and we found this great song because we needed one more song toward the end of the second set as we're saying goodbye.
And kind of an up-tempo, kind of a rocker.
Yes, because what we have there right now is a slow song, and we both felt this, we got to, do something to jazz it up a bit so that people leave on a high note. And so we found this song that's unbelievable. I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but
is it dirty?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, actually, I don't see why I shouldn't tell you. The title of the song, and I believe she wrote it as well, is Jesus Put a Yodel in My Soul.
And that's our show title.
And I listened to that, and it was just so upbeat and kind of as a country flair to it, I guess. But it'll be fun. Yeah. So.
Well, you always hope
so you
going
ask
into
me
these.
where
That's
songs
right.
come from, and that's where they come from. I mean, I try to keep it fairly traditional especially in the first half, because people want to hear Christmas music there. But then we try to do songs that give the musicians a chance to play and show off their skills. So
well, you always go into these shows knowing that you want to play people's favorites, but you're always hoping to find something that will surprise them, make them sit up and take notice.
Well, and that was the thing about Cameron. Cameron's repertoire was quite different from mine in that he, of course, leaned more toward the show tunes, the theater type music. But I've learned of many groups that I wasn't aware of through him, and different songs that, maybe somebody like Amy Grant had recorded, but I knew nothing about this song. But he gave me a whole new treasure trove of songs that I can, now use again. So
it's a Carol Christmas coming up December 7th at CSPS Hall in Cedar Rapids. And let me see, I think it's cspshall.org is where you go
I
to
think
get
so.
tickets, I think, or you
Yeah.
can call their
I think they've
box office.
completely dropped the Legion Arts.
I don't
thing.
think, I think it's just it's just
If you
CSPS
Google
Hall now.
CSPS Hall, you'll find what
You'll
you
be
need,
able
so.
to find it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a place online where people can keep up with all your projects and stuff?
I do have a website, just carolmontag.com, and then I do send out a monthly newsletter and just update people on where I'm performing, what I'm up to, and any other interesting music tidbits I can find. So,
Well, with that in mind, what other projects do you have in the pipeline after the Christmas show's over?
well, I've started recording a new album, a new CD.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and I'm working with Dan Towie, who you know very well here at
Who
KCCK.
engineers and produces our Jazz Fest broadcast from Iowa City every year, among many other things.
Right, and Dan teaches here as well, and he's a great musician and has been in several bands. But he has a studio, and we just have gone in, and so far I have my guitar tracks down, and hopefully after this Christmas show and the holidays are all over, I can get back in there and work on some vocals.
Well, we'll look forward to having that show up in the coming months.
Yeah, I hope to have it out next year sometime.
All right, excellent. Well, Carol, always great to see you.
You too.
And good luck with the show. Again, A Carol Christmas, CSPS Hall, December 7th. Visit CSPS Hall online. You can get tickets, or you can call their box office, which is on their website, too, if you prefer to talk to somebody on the phone. And glad to hear you're doing a new CD. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And hope the holiday season goes well and the concert is a stunning success. I'm sure it will be. And tell Bruce hello for us when you see him.
Yes, I will. I definitely will. Maybe he'll give you a call.
Oh, he's always welcome. Carol, nice to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year to everyone.
You too. Thanks very much.
Sure.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30 or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or using your favorite podcast player. Our video producer is Lydia Kilgore. I'm Dennis Green. I'll talk to you later.